let's start, and we're going to introduce them. We've got Jess, Crazy Mother Runner. Can you introduce yourself and your page so everyone at home can know who you are and what you do on TikTok?
Okay, so I'm Crazy Mother Runner. I'm a runner, so that's blatant. But I got into more of a controversial conspiracy political TikTok about January timeframe, and I've kind of been living there ever since. Still do my utadas, still run, but I also just debunk stupid bullshit and argue with conservatives a lot. So yeah, that's where I am. I have Crazy Mother Runner as my main page. I now have a backup page, Crazy Mother Runner 2. Because I got a posting ban for the first time ever in my 1-year TikTok career. So that is where you can find me on TikTok. I've made it. So that's where you can find me on TikTok.
Awesome. And thank you for fighting with conservatives because, you know, we all need people out there debunking all the misinformation and craziness out there.
Yes.
Next, we have the Loud Lib. Hello, Loud Lib.
That's me. No.
It is you.
All right. So, I don't run. Let me just get that out of the way. You know, there's no running here. No one's going to hit me with their car if I'm sitting on my couch. So I just want to put that out there. I find exercise very dangerous, especially at night. So, well, I'm the Loud Lib.
Good justification.
Absolutely. So I'm the Loud Lib. That's my thing on TikTok. And I just want to thank Maggie for having me on her show. And I'm glad that we finally were able to make it happen. So if you want to follow me on TikTok as the Loud Lib, you can. And if I may, just really, really quickly, I live in Fair Lawn, New Jersey. And on June 8th, we have the primary. And my name is going to be on that ballot in column 2. I would very much appreciate it if anyone here lives in Fair Lawn. You can send me an email at mattsbeckoff, BECKOFF, @gmail.com. I would love to talk to you and explain to you why I'm running and why I would very much be honored if I can get your vote. And I'd like to speak to you about it personally. Anyway, Maggie, back to you, my darling. Thank you.
Fantastic. And can I just say, I'm very proud of you for running for office and, you know, transferring your fame to another arena. I think it's fantastic.
My fame.
Hey.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, you got some TikTok fame, baby. It's great. And you know what? And you know, you're on there for politics, so you're, you know, maneuvering into the real arena, and I think that's great. And next we have Not the Real Tracy Delaney. Welcome back.
Hi, I am not the real Tracy Delaney, and I twerk and dance to popular. Oh wait, that's my other account. This account I do politics and political satire, and talk about social issues. And yeah, that's my handle, Not the Real Tracy Delaney. So
well, what's the other one? That's the one we all want to go to.
I know.
I think it doesn't exist.
Writing down, go to twerking page now.
Cut it off. Yeah.
Well, Maggie, you don't need any more inspiration for trouble, Mrs. Nudity Ben on TikTok over there. Okay? You relax, young lady.
It was for not. Full disclaimer, I was not nude on TikTok. All right.
I know, they report you for anything. I got nudity too when I was talking about politics. I wish I was nude. I should do nudity. But
well, I will say to be fair, it is
a lot more followers though. Shit.
To be fair, it was nudity and sexual activity, and I did make a sexual innuendo joke, but you know
that doesn't count. I'm sorry,
it doesn't count.
It shouldn't. If you're creative with your delivery, it shouldn't count.
Well, actually, it is in their guidelines on TikTok that jokes and innuendos that's artistic and art like that. That's part of, you know. So that's why my video was put back up for the first time. But yeah. Anyways, and last but not least, we have the amazing Ryan Shedback, who I am happy to say got his account on TikTok back.
Yes. Thank
Last
you to all
week we had a very much more somber Ryan because his account was banned. So
no, it wasn't the account. It was the fact that when I came on your show, you screenshotted the new account. It was like 250 followers. I watched, and she put me last too. So it was like you're watching everybody else on the show. It's like 100,000 followers, 80,000 followers. You know, 180,000 followers. Gets to Ryan, 270 followers. I was like.
I will admit that was a very bad choice of things that I did.
I was laughing my ass off. I looked, I was like, oh shit. And then I left.
It's a TikTok outreach program, you know.
But he was on our podcast the day before with all his followers.
Mm-hmm.
and literally was like, I'm going to take a break and just, it's getting really intense. And then it's like,
and then the next day, like I'm banned. I woke up, I'm banned. I'm like, well, that's evidence that or proof
forced
that
break.
Yes, it was a forced break that I needed apparently.
Why are these people who are always complaining about cancel culture trying to cancel us all the time? I'm always getting any day now my account's going to be gone.
They can't. You know what it is? Because they can't keep up with us intellectually. So the only thing they can do is bombard our accounts and try to get us quieted down.
Yep.
Because we're getting too loud. We make way too much freaking sense, and they don't like that.
I've literally never tried to get anyone banned. I do not understand.
I've reported like a handful of accounts, and they were ones that like a lot of people report, like the one pedophile dude with the profile. I reported that one.
Oh, yeah.
You know, but I don't have time to go around and do that. Like I feel kind of sorry for these people that are mass reporting all of our accounts on here. Like getting us banned, getting us shadow banned. We can't ban for 7 days. But what you're not, you know why TikTok's doing this? I'm convinced. Sorry, I'm not going to take over your show, Maggie.
No, but keep going. It's fine.
I'm convinced that this TikTok wants to ban us for 7 days and see if our accounts keep getting bombarded with being reported. And hopefully that's part of it, because then they're going to see that it's not necessarily, you know, our videos. It's just that our accounts are getting bombarded for no freaking reason.
Right.
I think
I'd like to think
Absolutely. Yeah.
I think in general they just want to get politics.
All right, real quick, Ryan, introduce
agree.
yourself real quick,
I
and
agree.
then we can get back to talking.
Oh,
God,
yeah,
if you don't know who I am now, Jesus.
He's the guy.
No,
he's got 254
He got
followers.
banned.
He's big. He's
I got
big.
259 now. 259.
Oh, my bad.
But no, you can follow me on everywhere. But I'm really trying to build up my YouTube, because that's where all my podcasts go. So please go follow me there. You can find me under my name, Ryan Shed. And if you can, please go over to Twitter and follow me there too, because those are the platforms I'm pretty active on now. But as always, thank you for having me on, Maggie. I always love doing your show, and it's always a pleasure being on with other awesome creators. So love you all.
I am so happy you guys are here. I've had a great week. I've been very excited for the show all week. So thank you all for being here. So I wanted to start talking about Joe Biden's address to Congress.
Yeah.
In my opinion, I thought it was a home run. I thought he was calm and he was to the point, and he said things that no president has ever said. You know, historically, talking about transgender, talking about, I mean, even when he turned around and looked at Kamala Harris and introduced her and Nancy Pelosi, what a moment. So let's talk about it. What did you guys think of that address and all the funny stuff too?
You know, I'm going to say real quick, you know, I was really happy with the things he was demanding action on. When he started saying, you know, I want to see this on my desk. I want to see this on my desk. I was sitting there going, oh, I'm loving this.
Yeah.
You know, and it really, in my opinion, it made the right look kind of bad today, because a lot of them were looking for something to attack. And it's like, what are you going to attack? He pretty much said he was going to help every American yesterday.
Yeah.
Like he laid out a plan to help almost everybody. And I'd like to also point out that they didn't stand up and clap when he talked about child poverty. And I loved the side eye that Kamala gave them all as they
Yeah.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Yes, Queen.
Yes.
Absolutely.
She's speaking. She's speaking.
Without speaking, and I love it.
Well, you know what? Everyone has had to, well, that's the thing. Everyone's had to learn how to, you know, smize a little bit more with their eyes and, you know, give a little bit more attitude because of masks. And Kamala is the queen of it. So,
Well, they all must have sat around thinking, well, where are we going to get our viral video out of this? Because there was nothing in there for them to poke fun at.
Nope.
I poked fun at Ryan. I mean, at Ted Cruz.
Oh, I was like,
I poked fun at Ryan. No, I poked fun at Ted Cruz.
Sleeping Ted?
Yeah, Sleeping Ted.
Funny.
I have a question for you. Okay. And
I mean, it was a little long, but anyway.
Well, I swear, I truly believe that was staged. Like,
what, him sleeping?
His eyes were glazed over, though. Like
his eyes were really glazed. He looked like he'd been
really
doing
over.
some drugs before he headed to the.
But I also think that is exactly what he would want to project to his base.
Oh, absolutely.
They call him Sleepy Joe. They call him Sleepy Joe. And what could Ted Cruz do to, like, you know, fall into that narrative, sit there and just, you know, be an asshole?
Yeah, but then
Lauren Boebert had a Mylar blanket.
How did I miss that during
that about? Well, I'm like,
I missed that until, like, I think it was either later or something, or this morning. I was like, I didn't even see the freaking blanket. When did she pull that out?
I don't know. She's like pulling it out of her bag. I'm like, did you get cold? Are you taking a nap?
No,
Like, what's happening?
She didn't know that. Like,
He did.
I
do
just
great.
run a marathon.
I didn't even watch it because you know what? I feel like for the past 4 years has been like watching a toddler try to do brain surgery, and it's been excruciating. And I just that day I just sat back and I was just like, he's got it. I'm not going to watch it. This I know he's got it. You know,
you're right.
It's so nice not having to worry about whether somebody, you know, what's he going to do? Is he going to call Nancy Pelosi sleepy? Is he going to try and fuck the podium? Who knows? Like,
who cares?
It's so nice just to have a president who will just address the nation. It was just, I'm not even going to watch it. I just know he's got it.
Go, I did this, love me, I did this. Yeah, that was a nice change of pace.
And because I'm pretty sure that Trump is going to try and make a run for it in the next, in 2024. So he's going to start his shit again soon.
I don't think he is.
You don't think so?
He's fleecing.
I think
hope
this is all a grift.
Right.
I think it's all a grift.
Now, let me rephrase. Donald Trump 2024 will not happen.
No.
I'm not saying Trump 2024 will happen. I don't know who it's going to be.
Well, it can't be Ivanka because she's vaccinated, so she'll be a zombie by the time 2024 rolls around. So we know it can't be her.
Well, it can't be Don Jr. because he's got to stop doing lines of coke long enough to run for his
Lines.
campaign.
That dude's doing mountains of coke.
And let's face it, the other guy is just stupid. He's just dumb.
Yeah, there's no reason he's not.
Maybe Barron will run.
I'm just gonna put that out there, but okay, anyway, go on.
You guys, I do want to go back to talking about this real quick. I had a thought, and what really disgusted me about, Ted Cruz's behavior and, Lauren Boebert's behavior during, this address is that I think people forget that these people are at work, right? Like this is their job.
This is their boss.
This is their job to sit in that room and at least act like this is their job. If you were sleeping at your job, what would happen to you? If you were at your job and your boss walked in and you were like eyes closed, you would get reprimanded, right?
Yeah.
It's unacceptable for that.
Or you're sitting at a meeting and you pull out a one of them blankets and you start shuffling it like this. I mean,
I don't understand why she was even invited. I don't know.
Marjorie Taylor Greene wasn't, so why was she?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, it was limited as to who could be there. So why would they even? Because that if you have her, Ted Cruz, they're going to do something.
Maybe that's what they
know that the cameras are there, so they know they have to do something for their base who are sitting out there salivating, waiting for some stupid shit to happen. And it did, of course.
But is this where we are in America, where they're just putting these people up there just to give the base something to laugh at and be like, look at Ted Cruz, he's laughing. But how sad are we right now? How sad is this?
Oh, very.
We're the laughing stock.
We're laughing stock.
I just can't get over that this is their job and they're acting this way. And it's a bunch of children at this point.
But see, that's the thing though. To them, that's not their job. Their job is to be loyal to the last guy. That's their job. Yeah. They don't actually care what their job is supposed to be. To them, their job is to praise the last guy.
Yeah.
I wonder if we'll ever get back to just like serious politics. I mean, it's all just become a reality TV show now. It's just entertainment.
It's a LARP.
Yeah.
It's a LARP.
I'm not saying the Democrats don't play into it.
Of course.
But last night, I felt like it was a step to us getting back there.
Yeah.
Like I know you didn't watch it, but really at the end of it, I
watched the afterwards.
The afterwards. Okay,
not
so
while it was happening. No.
Like I just felt afterwards. I just felt like, man, this feels like we're headed back in the right direction. Like this feels like we have leadership that knows how to lead.
Talking about actual politics and not calling names and not taking jabs. And
I will say the right was making a really big deal about, speaking at the end of his speech, about him referencing the government as we the people. I don't know if you guys saw that I know on TikTok, I was seeing a lot of, I'm getting stuck on conservative side of crazy TikTok, but basically they were like, did you see, and I'm on Telegram, so that's another reason, but they're like going off about, he called the government, we the people. And so like, I literally had to make a video clarifying. I'm like, you have to understand his reference was we the people elect the government officials. They are a representation of us. And he was trying to explain that it's you and I, like we are a collective group,
Yeah.
both the government and the people that we're serving.
Yep.
And like, that was his point, but they were like, he thinks we the people are, I'm like, you guys are like, but that's the thing. Like, this is what you came away from this entire speech was he referenced the government as we the people. Like, are you that fucking daft? Like, come on, like, get
they're
with
not
the program.
watching to listen to his policies or to listen to anything.
No.
They're watching to catch him out,
For
say
mistakes.
But
Right,
yeah,
exactly.
To
make that viral video. Oh,
Absolutely.
he stuttered again. Got him.
Yeah, well, they did.
Defensive
Oh, I
Joe.
saw the stutter. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Don't
as soon as
ever-
that happened,
and you
I
know
knew
what?
they were
Let me
gonna
tell
say
you, I am a speech language pathologist, and when people come for him for his stuttering, I get irate because there is no correlation between. Well, there's no correlation between a person's IQ and their ability to have fluent sentences.
Correct.
There is no correlation. In fact, there are some studies that say that smarter people actually do stutter. So it really makes me mad. And he's been such a champion for stuttering that I always come for them for that because I don't stand
I hate
for that.
when they, I know.
Well, they have to go for something.
Right.
They're
running out of options.
Right. I mean, how many times can you talk about Hunter Biden and Parmesan and cheese? You know,
A lot.
That's
unfortunately.
their whole narrative is that Joe Biden has dementia. He can't have coherent sentences. Yada yada yada.
Oh, yeah. He's being ran by. He's a puppet.
I was about to say, like, how crazy. Now, my Ivanka video, holy shit, that became political TikTok's stitch for like the last 2 weeks. How far does it go in terms of like the comments? Like, I have people that say that's not really Joe Biden. It's not really, he's not doing anything. The military runs everything. Donald Trump is running everything from Florida. Like, how fucking crazy are the comments on your guys' pages? Because
I know,
the last couple of weeks,
crazy.
it's like,
they're that crazy.
Yeah.
Well, those are the conspiracy theories going around. People believe that Joe Biden is a hologram. He's dead.
Right. Yeah, that Joe's dead, and that what we were watching was a green screen.
Oh my
Yes.
So
God.
they think that movie Dave, where
Yes.
I literally am not able to post because I debunked someone saying Kamala was getting on a fake plane, an invisible plane. Like that's what started it. Well, I don't know.
Video?
I posted that video against Batty. Batty doubled down and lied. She deleted the videos because when I posted the full video and showed proof, she like blocked me because I was like, oh shit, my followers are going to see that I'm a effing liar. And then I made a video basically to her followers like, why do you guys listen to her? Like, she's knowingly lying. Like, I don't understand. Like, this is so disingenuous. Yeah. And so her girl Shipwreck comes at me with her crew, and they're the ones that took all my videos down.
I might lay off on the like attacking or correcting people too, because that's exactly what happened to me. It was I made the gun reform video and literally backed it up with facts and statistics. And this guy's followers, who were all 12-year-old boys, literally just mass reported my page. Yeah. And it was just like, it's not my opinion, it's facts, you know?
It's data.
Yeah.
They don't like data.
What gets me is when they remove a video of ours that has news. Like, we literally took a news clip from not from Fox News or something like that. We're talking BBC, ABC News, like something like that. We took it, screenshotted it, and gave a little rundown of what it was about, and we posted it. And they're like, and they take it down for bullying. I'm like, who was I bullying? Giving a synopsis of a news story.
It's getting out of control. It's getting out of control for sure.
It is.
They really do want to get rid of political TikTokers. In fact, I have a connection at TikTok who works at TikTok. It's not like support it's an actual human being at TikTok. He has not gotten back to any of my messages in the last month and a half. I mean, they really want to get rid of all of us. I mean, there's no question about it. They really want politics off of their app. And if you ask me, that's a perfect way to kill their app. I mean, politics is current. I mean, the people that are dancing to all this dumb shit in 5 or 6 years from now, they're not going to care about TikTok. But if TikTok were to build a base for politics the way Twitter and Facebook do, then they can stay relevant. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure you all. Well, maybe I'm wrong, but we've all seen our views go down. I'm bleeding fucking followers, and I solely blame TikTok, and it's just fucked up. But at the same time, I'm going to get a little shit for this, and that's fine. I don't care. The fans on the left, where are they going? Like, just because Joe Biden won,
Yeah.
where did you go? Why have you stopped liking people's videos? Why have you stopped commenting on people's videos?
Yes.
Why have you stopped defending us in the comment sections when we are?
But
getting
I think they spent the last 4 years defending.
May I please just finish? Where the fuck?
Yeah.
Where are you in our comment sections when we're getting bullied and harassed relentlessly? You know, I don't know what you guys all went through during the course of the election, but I got death threats. My phone number got out there. My dad's phone number got out there. I mean, it was fucking relentless. Now, I'm not saying that I need you to like baby me and coddle me for the rest of my life. I don't need that. But if you're going to leave all of the people that helped you during this election and stuff like that, because I mean, God, I'm sure you all got that every day, 20, 30 times a day. Oh, without you, I would never get through this election.
Yep.
Well, where the fuck are you now? Because there are still kids sleeping on the floor down in Texas. There are still things that need to get resolved. And I certainly see the conservatives on TikTok in full force. I'm sure you all agree with that. They are in full fucking force. But as far as people on the left, they sort of dropped the ball. And I said that was going to happen. And I hate to say I told everybody, but it really fucking irritates me. Sorry.
What I think has happened is that people, and I think you were about to say this, Jess, that people have just been sick of politics. We went through 4 years of trauma, and look, I mean, kind of
especially last two.
Yeah, and looking back and seeing,
but now's not the time to drop the ball.
It's not.
Matt, hold on. What we just witnessed with Joe Biden, even just this week, a calm, like presence as a presidential president. I think that gives people a sense of relief where they don't have to constantly be in this political world. And I think that's where a lot of people have gone. Jess, you were going to say something? Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, no, I agree that I feel like, I wasn't I wasn't political during the election. So I didn't have, but when I went political, it was because, again, I had been delving into Telegram and Parler and seeing, yes, I agree with that. Yep. I've been dealing with, seeing everything leading up to January 6th. Like I saw January 6th get planned in real time on Parler. Mm-hmm. And it just made me more aware of the polarization that just occurred because of Trumpism. I mean, it's just the reality it is. He completely divided this nation in such an extreme way. But the problem too is the conservatives from the centrist conservatives like Biden, I mean, he really is, let's be real, all the way to the super leftist, communist, socialist, liberals, they all are so different and on such a huge range of spectrum, like they're eating their own and they're finding different shit to hate each other over, even in this time where we need to come together, where the conservatives can be, conservative like Lindsey Graham to blood-eating cabal, fucking come together no matter what. Right. And that's the problem. And we literally, I want to say we talked about this when Ryan was on our show, just like, we need to fucking be better on the left. Like, I don't care what side of the thing is. You're not going to agree. You're not going to come to the same conclusion on every topic or policy. But we still need to fucking unite because
they think the fight is over, but it's not. We have to keep at it, and exactly what you just said. People are creators who were on the same side are now like turning on each other. Oh, you're not exactly like this, like you said.
Identical to me.
You're performative. You're the. It's like, holy shit, this is not what we need right now. It's crazy.
Can I have the mic for a second?
Yeah, absolutely, Ryan.
I want to say that I agree with both your points. I agree completely with Matt that TikTok is messing up because this platform, why it's messing up for me, what pisses me off about it is that you have all these young kids that we got interested into politics over the last year. And the reason we got them into politics is because we were on their platform and we made it relatable to them. Yeah. And now they're taking that away from us. So it's like we complain that we don't get young people involved in politics. Then we go to an app where we can get young people involved in politics. Yeah. Oh, by the way, we succeeded. And I have plenty of hours of video of people showing up on our podcast saying, I'm 15, I'm 14, I'm 16. I wasn't interested in politics until you came over.
Yep.
And so TikTok is really messing up their platform, but they're also really taking away an outstanding delivery tool from us. And that part sucks. And the other part I want to talk about is, we're talking about the fatigue. which clearly I agree with, because I'm trying to take a break as we speak.
Yeah.
But that being said, you also hear, Matt and I are both already running. You go on Arizona's website and look me up. I am officially a candidate for Arizona. So we are already having to fundraise. We are already having to hire campaign staff. We are already having to get signatures. So while I understand and I empathize with you, I know that the last 2 years, 4 years has sucked, particularly the last year. But unfortunately, we have another election that's about not even 18 months around the corner.
Absolutely.
It's right.
Well,
it's
and
right
we've
around
talked
the corner.
Knocking on the door.
If I may for a second, we have talked about this we've talked about this every single week on this show about mobilizing for the 2022 midterms that are coming up.
Yep.
It is, but mobilizing and messaging. What the Democrats need to do is come together and mobilize and message, because we've talked about how great Republicans
Oh,
are.
you froze, Maggie.
Have
You
these quick
froze,
little
Maggie.
Yeah. Froze? Am I back?
You're
Am I
back. You're back.
Yeah, a little.
Yeah,
Okay.
Kind of.
Kind of.
Okay. Hope I frozen. I'm just kidding. But we need to mobilize and we need to get our messaging right, because they're so good at messaging these quick little 3-word phrases. Stop the steal, blah, blah, blah. And they come together. And like you said, everyone's eating their own right now because everyone's angry. They're fighting internally. And that will be our demise, because even as we speak this week, Donald Trump and Lindsey Graham came up with a donation. Come and if you come into this donation, and you can come golf with us, but you have to give us money, and we're raising money for the 2022 election. They are on it. They are working every single day for this right now, and we need to make sure that we get that across. And I think that's something that, as TikTokers, that's something that we need to focus on, and less about the views and the catching the energy, but more about getting the right messages out and supporting the right people, right?
Yeah.
And I wish that a lot of left-wing creators would start actually creating again. I mean, I know so many people who just were like, well, my views are shit, so I'm just not going to post it.
Yeah, a lot of
And
people
it's like,
have given up.
But I get discouraged too, brother. Like, you spend all this time doing these videos.
I do too. There's no question that I do too. But they're still out there posting. Those Republicans are out there posting, and they're flooding the app. I mean, look, I don't want to be posting shit either. I'm tired. I'm running for city council. I don't want to have to deal with trying to monitor death threats on TikTok, until, after June 8th, maybe. But when I see that the conservatives are flooding TikTok and Democrats are kind of running in a way, it's like, no, we got to keep going. I mean, Republicans have worked at abortion since 1994. And in case you haven't noticed, they're succeeding. You look at what's going on in places like Alabama, where the governor just signed an almost near total, anti-abortion law.
They just did it here in Arizona. Now, doctors
I get that we're tired, but we've got to keep going. Sorry.
Go ahead, Ryan.
The point is that it's not just Alabama; it's Arizona. Just this past week, Doug Ducey signed into law a ridiculous abortion ban. It's one of the most extreme abortion bans in the country, to the point where if a doctor assists a woman getting an abortion, no matter what the reason is, they're charged with a felony 3 murder.
Oh,
charge.
Yeah.
If a woman is 3-4 months pregnant and she has a miscarriage, her or her family or whatever has to pay to bury said material.
Wow.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
No, it's a fucking disgusting bill. It's disgusting.
I feel like every day I'm hearing about a new bill coming out that's just absolutely
They're
horrific.
going to get it back in front of the Supreme Court. The whole point the GOP, the whole thing they're trying to do right now is get this back in front of the Supreme Court with the seats that they currently have.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yep.
Pack the goddamn courts, please.
Yes.
That's why
they get so mad when we say that, because they know if we pack the court, it'll fuck their agenda. That's why they get so mad when we say it.
Well,
that's why they do voter suppression. I mean,
voter suppression, redesignating areas on the maps and stuff like that. I mean,
we're in the middle of redistricting. We're in the middle of redistricting.
Right, exactly.
It's all gerrymandering.
Folks, if you're out there, fill out your goddamn census, please.
Agreed. Well, speaking of legislation, moving forward, what do you think are the odds of us getting, what we need to get pushed through. Joe Biden had, so many great, talking points during his address to Congress. And we saw the looks on all their faces.
Joe Manchin.
Talking about the American job plan and talking about the Equality Act, talking about Green New Deal. All these things are going to be, coming through, down the pipeline. And
it depends
what
on
do we
how
think is going to happen here?
It depends on how aggressive I think us as a party, the Democrats, are willing to be.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I really do think that's what it all boils down to. We have control. Yeah. If we want to push things through, we can push things through.
But I'm nervous we're going to screw ourselves like we did the first 2 years of Obama. And I'm really nervous that things are going to get quiet and 2022 is going to come and people aren't going to get out like they did in 2020. And I'm like, please, people, go freaking vote. But I'm really scared that that's what's going to happen.
Now, I'm afraid we're going to miss this time. And where we could be pushing so much legislation through, and then 2022 is going to come around, and we're going to lose something.
Mm-hmm. Or everything.
And I'm afraid of that. And then it'll be like, oh crap, here we go again. And
well, we have the redistricting to worry about too, because we have seats being added. We don't,
taken away. One in New York was just taken away.
Man. The 2022 landscape it's definitely concerning.
So here's my take on it. If we as Democrats don't give the BLM people what they want, LGBTQ plus people what they want, the border, with the power that we have over these next 2, hopefully 4 years, if we don't deliver, then fuck it. Then like honestly, then fuck it. Then everything I've been screaming and fighting for has been all for naught. But the problem is though, we got Joe Manchin from West Virginia. He's not. He's a bullshit Democrat. So while we think we have total control, we kind of don't, although we kind of do, which is it's all messed up. Anyway, the bottom line is, since we now have all 3 branches, it's this close. Since we do have all 3 branches of government, if we don't accomplish everything that we promised that we did, then I think we as Democrats have failed. That's just I know that might sound very extreme, but
it simplifies it, but. Because what we're all saying, isn't it? How aggressive are we willing to get? And if we don't get aggressive enough, you're going to lose a lot of freaking Democrats.
But I feel like the people in power aren't being aggressive enough.
Absolutely.
Exactly. But our representatives aren't.
We saw how easy. Absolutely. Well, we saw how easy it was during the COVID relief bill for the Democrats to come to the table and just cut out the $15 minimum wage, because thank goodness they came in and they were willing to cooperate because they wanted to push legislation fast. However, the other side didn't come to play, right?
No.
And none of them voted still, even though they got what they wanted out of it. It was a popular bill. They still didn't vote for it. And yet, here we are. And the Democrats came to cooperate. We're being very cooperative right now and met with a lot of,
people like Howley and Marjorie Taylor Greene, they'll never sign anything. They'll never.
No,
and the whole time, and
they wouldn't even sign cancer treatment bone marrow legislation. You think they're going to give a shit about anything?
Exactly.
Else?
The anti-Asian hate bill. Howley was the only one that didn't sign. Like, how would you not sign that?
He's like, "Hi, I hate Asian people. Have a great day." That's pretty much what he said in that meeting.
Garbage. I love calling them garbage.
They are garbage.
Howley is garbage. That's for sure.
Oh God.
I think their whole game is to just make sure that Democrats don't deliver. That's it, so that they can say,
of course.
Look, they didn't do this for BLM. Look, they didn't do this for. That's their whole game plan. Is
exactly.
They call us the do nothing Dems. That's their whole. That's another one of their catchphrases.
They just leave out the filibuster being one of the reasons that we don't, and that they're the reason we don't get shit done. They leave that part out.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I loved after the COVID relief bill, they all stepped up and they're trying to take credit for it too, which was disgusting, in and of itself, and it just goes to show they know that their base is not looking up information. They can say whatever they want and make them believe whatever they want.
Yes.
And that's the sad part, that the people, their eyes are closed to it all.
And also,
but we're the sheep. We're the sheep.
Oh yeah.
That's also the problem with the Democrats. What you just said, that one sentence is exactly what we've been talking about. The problem, it's not a problem. Let me rephrase. It's a good thing. But the issue with Democrats is that they will go research. So if you say something that isn't right, they're going to go figure it out, and then they're going to come back and be like, you were wrong. Why am I going to listen to you? And then they write you off.
Yep.
Like,
Yeah.
you know, like that's part of the problem. It's like, I hate to say it, but Democrats tend to not be fooled as easily as Republicans. And because of that, it creates tension on just our side, because it creates that friction of, you know, everybody thinks they know better, or everybody goes and researches what they're talking about. So it's not easy to just be like, oh, well, let's all come together and push this way.
Well, shit, I should have ran as a Republican.
Well, and we know.
Damn.
It's not too late.
Just ran as a Republican, won, and then went, oopsies, I changed parties.
It happens here all the time.
Well,
What they do is they go when it's starting to go purple or blue. What they do is they switch from Republican to Independent so that they can start playing the fence. That's what they do here.
Ugh, disgusting.
Well,
disgusting.
they have a lot of ghost candidates. Like Republicans love getting ghost candidates. I don't know if people are familiar with like what ghost candidates are and stuff like that. But I would recommend looking at what's going on down.
Will you tell everyone?
Tell everybody what a ghost candidate is.
A ghost candidate is kind of like a fake Democrat that like Republicans will put on the ballot to try and steal votes away and get the Republican on. Do you know what I mean? Like, let's say there's a Democrat who's an incumbent. They'll put up a ghost candidate to run as a Democrat against the incumbent to try and split the vote to get the Republican on. And if you look at what's going on in Florida, someone down there just got arrested. Oh, it's juicy. It's juicy. Read it. Type in ghost candidate South Florida. It's juicy. You're gonna love it. Trust me. You'll thank me later.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna write that down. Ghost candidate.
I know. That's a search later.
See, you learn something. See, the loud lip can also teach too. He can yell and scream and teach you at the same time.
Right.
I love it. I love it.
So
right,
I'm sorry, dude. I gotta say one thing. You need to get rid of that freaking thing, that fucking stand up behind you.
Hold on.
That is so reminiscent of these clowns that were walking around.
Now wait a second. You weren't here early, Mr. Ryan.
Okay, fair point.
You were not here early, Ryan. I had said to Maggie, I have not had this thing. Well, I guess we now know that Ryan doesn't actually watch any of my fucking videos. But anyway, thanks, Ryan. But anyway, I whipped this out just for this little show today in honor of the great speech that he gave last night. Was it last night? Yeah, it was last night.
It was last night.
2 nights ago. 2 nights
ago.
ago.
Yeah, I knew it was 2 nights ago, and I stopped myself and fucking Ryan over there.
Yep.
Anyway, so I whipped it out. I whipped it out just for that. And trust me, once this is done, it's going back in the box in the garage. But thanks for watching my video, Ryan.
I will say for everyone that's watching at home, and you know, I just realized we are still streaming from Patty's account because Patty was supposed to be here today, but he couldn't make it. But so Jill and Joe are, just taking Patty's spot for today. So
he made a joke about it, but Mr. Orion wasn't here before.
Is that the real Joe Biden, or is that the new alien like face mask Joe Biden?
That's hologram. That's hologram Joe.
Okay. I'm just checking.
The military's coming to pick him up in a little while.
The QAnon's gonna want to know, so I wanted to clear that up right off the top.
Absolutely. 100%.
I don't want him to be confused.
Oh, that's funny.
He's a little dumb, so he might be the real Joe Biden. The real one's in Gitmo. So.
Right. Yeah. Right.
All right. So you guys, I want to switch topics and I want to talk about another really fun thing that happened this week. Rudy Giuliani was raided at his New York apartment.
Yeah.
And so he's up for, violating the FARA violations for supposedly lobbying for Ukraine.
Yes.
And they came in and they took a bunch of electronic devices from his home. They raided his house at like 6 a.m. Apparently, people knew that this was coming even before him. I just watched him on Tucker Carlson last night, and it was beyond.
Epic.
I don't know if you guys have seen it.
Oh, I haven't seen it. No.
I just did a TikTok on it. I made a comedy. I'm doing a whole series where I'm going on Tucker Carlson, so it's part of my work that I have to go and watch this. But
you don't get paid enough.
Together,
right.
But no, what I will say is you have not heard the end of Hunter Biden's laptop.
No, you have not. I saw his statement. You have not.
Yes, this is all that is happening right now because apparently Rudy Giuliani, he is all upset right now that they came and took his electronic devices, but they didn't take the hard drives of Hunter Biden that were at his house. And he's like all like throwing a tizzy. So that is out there right now. So they are trying to deflect everything that is happening right now with Rudy and blame Hunter Biden. So this is going to be the new narrative and his drug addiction and all that stuff. So
I said this.
What are your thoughts on
like
this
6
week?
months. I said this 6 months ago in a video and a bunch of lives. If this is going to be the Republicans' route to win, then I'm not too concerned.
Yeah.
This was not a winning strategy during the course of the election. This is not going to be a winning strategy for them again. Hunter Biden, unlike Ivanka and Don Jr. and Jared Kushner, do not have offices in the White House.
No.
The majority of Americans don't give a shit about Hunter Biden and his Parmesan cheese. Okay, we just don't care. He's not working for his dad the way Don Jr. was. It's not a winning strategy.
Allegedly, I'm just going to say allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly. Well, it's your show.
Allegedly
I'm
working
for
or
city
allegedly?
council, too. I'm running for city council. So yes, allegedly. Sorry, I had an itch on my nose. But let me just say this too. God, how I wish I had one of those like radios, you know, that some like crazy people listen to, like police beats it. If I had known that they were raiding Rudy's, child, I would have been in my car and I would have been there in 30 minutes filming that shit. But anyway, I'm loving it. I'm loving every minute of it. Sorry.
His son was on CNN last night.
Oh, fuck him.
Literally pivoting.
It's another punchable face.
Exactly.
I know. Literally pivoting to the whole, well, they didn't take Hunter Biden's laptop. I find that very interesting. I'm like, really?
Too bad. A big slice of too bad.
My dad's been raided, but Hunter Biden's laptop. I'm like, yo, shut up.
How can that comparison even be made? How can anybody with a brain make that freaking comparison?
Yeah.
Well,
they post it all over Telegram.
Uh-oh, we lost
Maggie.
We're hosting it.
We lost our host.
It's my show now.
Take it.
We're taking over.
Okay, do you think we'll find Hillary's emails on Hunter Biden's laptops? The ones from
I think they will.
Benghazi?
It's on the E drive.
We all know who Ben is. Benghazi.
Yep.
You know him? Yeah.
I thought his last name was Dover. Ben Dover.
Ben Dover and Benghazi, yeah. It's
Man without the host. It's Thunderdome up in here without the host, y'all. It's Thunderdome. Political Thunderdome.
Oh,
Here
she's
she is.
We gotta behave. We gotta behave.
And so, yes, I was wondering. Oh, hey, Maggie. Hey.
We were discussing policy.
Oh, you're back. We
What
were
were you talking
quietly,
about when I was gone?
We were quietly waiting.
We didn't
for
even
you.
notice. Where'd you go?
All right, I am enlisting. Karen Pinkston, you are here, and you just wrote so funny. What were they talking about when I was
Oh
gone?
God, no! Karen will tell you. Too.
Don't be a
Karen.
Karen.
National debt. The national debt, Karen Pinkston.
Yes.
I will tell you.
And how we're going to solve the national debt problem.
What were you talking about when I was gone?
We were just talking about Hunter.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
We were talking
Wait, but
about
I want to
Mr.
say-
Dover
I
and
want to say
Mr. Ghazi.
I wanted to say I hope that Rudy flips on Trump. I will say that about this whole thing. I really hope he flips on
What do
Trump
you think
to
the
escape.
chances are? All joking
I feel
aside,
like
what do you
right
guys think
now,
the chances are?
everybody is singing. I think everybody's going to sing
Do you think?
if they need to sing. Absolutely. The one thing that you see that's happening in the Republican Party, and we're going to get into the whole Matt Gaetz things next, but it appears that nobody can trust anybody, and they will all sacrifice whomever for whatever. And I think they are all in it for themselves.
Well, did you see the one today? It was an article saying that when Trump was doing pardons, that the only way that he would do it was that if they would write down exactly what it was that they did that they wanted a pardon for, and basically would give it to him in writing so that he could keep it.
Oh,
That's
wow.
why nobody will turn on this freaking dude, because he's blackmailed everybody.
But Rudy didn't get one.
No.
Because Rudy was the one collecting them.
Yeah.
When Roger Stone.
When you forget to hand in that one last little slip of paper.
Should have snagged that last one for yourself there, dude.
And you gotta love the fact that the DOJ that signed this warrant was the same DOJ that was working with Rudy Giuliani and Trump all those months ago.
Yep.
I doubt that we're ever going to know the true, details of all of the scandals because those
I think
people,
we'll know most of them in the next.
we will
5 to 10
know
years.
we will know a lot of it, but there's going to be stuff.
I
that
think
we'll
it
know.
Dark
will all
tales
come
in that
out, but
White
it's gonna
House.
be a ways down the road, but it will all come out. They are all going to have to save their asses at some point, and they're going to have to sing
Right.
on somebody to save their asses. So it
Bert.
will come
Hi,
out.
Bert.
We know already
Hey,
that
Bert.
Donald Trump has said many times he loves to record people.
Yep.
We know he loves to do that. So that
Yeah.
being said, we know that his own niece recorded him too. So I've said for a long time, boy oh boy, it's probably all just getting started. I mean, there are probably tapes and all sorts of crazy and video. There's probably crazy shit out there that is going to trickle out over time.
But here's the thing:
and
will
I can't
that
wait.
make a difference? Will any of it make a difference? Because
Not
at
to
this
his
point,
base. Not to his
well,
base.
of course, at this point, I feel like nothing surprises me anymore.
Right.
You know, I thought grab him by the pussy was going to be the
Right?
end of everything.
The end of it, right?
I thought it was letting me like, oh fuck yeah, this is done. Like
locker room
Hillary,
Instead,
here
they
we
wear
come.
shirts asking him to grab them by the pussy.
Oh,
You couldn't have imagined that one. You couldn't.
And you
have,
see
you
the
couldn't
ladies
have.
that, and you see the ladies that are wearing those shirts, and we all know that Trump ain't paying any of them to do that. But, whatever.
All right, so let's talk about
I'm friends with Stormy Daniels, and she's told me some things that if I were to repeat them, you'd lose your supper.
Are you
Are
kidding?
you
me?
genuinely?
Hello, I'm one of the few people she follows on TikTok. I made a video with her,
wow.
and it bombed.
See, so nobody here watches your videos. Shut the
Fuck you! Fuck you! I get more views than all of you combined.
That is damn true for
That's
me.
true.
Absolutely.
That's true.
So the fact that you don't watch them, I don't care. No, I'm kidding.
Your videos when during the campaign and during the
What?
election,
Your
leading up
account
to
is
it, your
called The Loud
videos were
Lib. Is it?
freaking
I'm going to
brilliant.
go follow it now.
Oh, you
Yeah.
need to. His are
Matt,
brilliant.
Not loud
Matt,
enough.
Matt,
Man,
what you need to do,
Hey, I'll
Matt,
jump in.
what you
Sorry.
need to do right now is get Stormy on the phone and bring her up in the phone.
I could, well, not right now, but I could probably get her on your show.
Oh my God, I die.
I'm on that show,
Absolutely.
Maggie. If you don't have me on that fucking
Absolutely.
show, I swear to God.
Yes, Matt, 100%.
I was wondering if I should ask her to make, I'm getting like celebrities that I know to make little endorsement videos for me.
Yeah.
I don't know if hers would help though. It might.
She'd be a fabulous
I
endorsement.
would be so honored. We'll talk. That would be
We'll
amazing.
talk, John. Listen, you just got followed by Alyssa Milano. All right, Miss.
I did.
Miss Big Star over here.
Did you really?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Nobody
On
does.
what? On here?
Oh, look at
You
that
know
little
my
humble
daughter's
smile.
name
Oh,
is
yeah.
named after
You know,
her?
I'm not. I don't want to. I don't brag about anything like that. I just mentioned it to.
Oh, shit, I do all the
but I
time.
don't want to talk.
Yeah,
about it.
what's the point? It's TikTok. I always brag. I got more
Rex
followers than you.
Chapman follows me. John Acosta follows me. Freaking
My friends
Morgan
don't even follow
Fairchild.
me. No.
Oh
Jerry
wow.
Ryan.
Okay,
But
so
the one I've been trying to get
Kamala Harris
Alyssa Milano gets tagged in the same post with me for the last freaking year. I can't tell you how many times people tag her and me in the same fucking post. She still won't follow me. All the fucking people she follows, she won't follow me. Alyssa.
No, but the reason is because we both are connected to a cause right now that we are both about vaccinating people around the world. That's the deal.
She does a lot. Like you don't have to agree with everything she says, but she has a good heart and she's trying to do a lot of good. So
that's
just
another
respect
case
that.
of people like attacking somebody who's on our side and is doing good work. And if she does one thing wrong, it's like, oh my God, just attacking her for it. Like nobody's perfect. Oh my God, it's ridiculous.
I say that to my kids. I say nobody's perfect.
Speak for yourself.
All right, let's move on, and we're going to talk about Matt Gaetz and what came out yesterday. And what's that guy? What's his friend's name? I wrote it down. I keep forgetting.
Jonah, Josh, or Joel.
Joel Greenberg. That's right. Okay, so Joel Greenberg and Roger Stone were in kind of communication and texting, and he was pretty much bribing Roger Stone with Bitcoin to get a pardon from Trump. And in these text messages, he admitted that him and Gaetz have had sex with an underage girl. So Gaetz, whatever his name is, he's pretty much nail in the coffin at this point.
So this is the same guy that's on the Judiciary Committee, right?
He's going to be the hero to them. What are you talking about?
No. This is the same guy that's on the Judiciary Committee, right?
Yeah, this is
yes.
Yes.
The committee. Okay.
You know, the guy that singly voted against a human trafficking bill? Yeah, that guy.
How has this guy not been
Human
marched out?
Quagmire from Family
How?
Guy? That guy.
Yes.
Yeah, that guy.
I don't know if his black son is going to like this conversation, y'all. I'm just putting that.
Oh,
Black son / boyfriend. Excuse me.
Uh-oh, am I going to get canceled for saying that shit?
I'm unfollowing now. I just followed.
I just told you were gonna unfollow.
Don't worry, you are going to watch my videos anyway, just like Ryan over here.
I'm gonna make a video calling you out now. That's what I'm gonna
I know.
do.
I don't
and I'm going to duet it.
You guys need to take sides. Okay? Like a good divorce, take sides.
Take sides.
No, I mean, is anyone here surprised by any of this when it comes to
No.
Matt Gaetz?
No.
I mean, this is
always thought it was
typical. Yeah, I mean, this is typical
That he has to pay for
Republican
sex?
behavior.
Absolutely not. That is
Yeah.
with children? Absolutely not. No.
I mean, we know that what we've been dealing with as content creators is a lot of projecting. Yo, you like Joe Biden, so you're a pedophile.
Oh, I hate that narrative.
Meanwhile, it's like, you know, Roy
Especially when
Moore, Matt
majority of
Gaetz.
the
I mean, we
pedophiles
could
are women.
literally sit here for days and just, you know, almost every time we see a politician caught with underage child, not every time, but almost
not
every
every
time. Not every time, but almost every time. A good percentage of the time, you're going to see that are. And, you know,
I will assure you they're all white males, so there's that going on.
Well, I mean, they're Republicans. I mean, with the exception of Tim Scott, that's what they all are anyway.
Yes,
Oh my God,
yes, I
Tim
know.
Scott, what was that?
Was that
right?
not the? That was. I mean, okay. You know what? I'm running for city council, so I'm going to keep my mouth shut on this one.
Topic.
Yeah, you might want to stop doing podcasts until 2023.
You mean until June 8th?
Yeah, there you go.
Just don't
My
bring your real
primary's
name
in
into
4
it, then you're
weeks.
fine.
I would not. I knew that if I was going to run, I got to get in the primary as soon as possible. This way, I can get back to what I want to do and be as vocal as I want. But
I don't know. I think Matt Gaetz' hair always screamed pedophile. Maybe that's just me, but it's something about that.
I feel
like,
that. I feel that.
I have high hair, but I'm a good person.
I just love to hear you all say pedophile because it's pedophile. And it's spelled Paedophile.
now, how would you know that?
pedophilia.
No,
Pedophile,
but that's
pedophile.
the one thing because obviously in Ireland that's how we say pedophile and we spell it with the A-E-D. Like we spell it like encyclopedia or whatever, or fetus is F-O-E. And whenever I make a video about pedophiles, it's like, you're not spelling it right. You're not pronouncing it right.
So do you guys think right now? Do you think right now
Sorry, pedos. Didn't mean to hurt your feeling there, pedo. Sorry. Get it right.
do you guys think right now that anyone in the GOP is going to stand by Gaetz right now or Gates?
Yes.
You think that? Yes.
MTG is.
All right, hold on, Ryan. I want to hear what you have to say. You say.
Is she?
The question is, do I think anybody in the GOP is going to still stand with him? Yes.
Yeah.
I think the likes of Hawley, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Lauren Boebert,
Yeah.
I think their ilk is so stupid that they are going to stand behind this dude until his boat sinks.
Sorry,
I
I thought Maggie meant relevant people. I apologize.
There's relevant people
That's fair.
in the political party of the Republicans.
Yeah, I mean, like the
Oh.
people like Liz Cheney and stuff like the Liz Cheney.
Oh, okay,
you know.
okay.
You know what?
The-
Relevant
the
or
ones who are-
irrelevant, these people are making decisions and they have power and they have sway.
I know.
So
I know.
that's you can't write any of them off at this point because they're in control and
Well, and Lauren
they're-
Boebert's getting money because she keeps flying out to Mar-a-lago for those fundraisers.
That's what worries me about her and MTG. I mean, they actually don't really have much power. I mean, they're not passing.
Well, MTG doesn't have any power now.
Right.
She does.
They're not passing shit.
But they're getting money.
But their
They're getting
money,
tons of
right.
money.
Their money, where that money's going and stuff like that. I mean, yeah. Listen, again, if you live in Fair Lawn, come on, vote for me. We got fucking MTG and Lori Brobart. So how bad could it be if you vote for me? Anyway, go on.
I know we're saying they have no power, but what worries me is they will have power at some point because I feel like the Republican or the conservative side likes to be entertained, like somebody who comes out and says
Right.
controversial, edgy shit. And I do worry that they will be put, I mean, I know, power was taken away from MJT, but it's like, I do worry that they will be given other power in other areas just because they're so fucking
Well, there's 30
You know.
million Q-pots out there. I mean, I'm not
Yeah,
exaggerating.
right.
There's
This is what
probably,
worries
I mean,
me.
and
It's
those
I-
people love them. Love them.
Well, what I see right now is, so much divide in our country between the left and the right, and the fighting is continuing on a daily basis. We're in it. We're in the thick of it on TikTok.
Yep.
And if we don't come to some like calm at some point, this next 2022 election is just going to be just as vicious. I
Oh, it's going to
feel.
be just as vicious.
It is.
And I'm hoping that we can all just calm down a little bit. I would love for a little bit of more calm, so maybe even the people on the right can get a little bit more calm. But I mean, is that too much to hope for at this point?
Yeah.
Are we living in a crazy
I don't
world
think
here?
it's too much to. I don't think it's too much to hope for,
Wishful
but I do.
thinking?
I do think it's. I do think it's a little. I'm going to use the word naive, and I don't mean that in a bad way. I just
It's not
mean,
gonna happen.
yeah, I gotta side with Matt there. His phone must have
Matt
died.
left.
But before he
his
left,
phone
I
died.
just don't.
I think that there are some civilized conservatives that are willing to meet in the middle with the more central leaning liberals. But beyond that, no. We are just so polarized right now. And I mean, my fear is it's not going to go away, not even in 2 years, but 4 years. And we are going to end up with a fascist leader in, 2024, or if not 2028. Like, I really feel like that's where our country's headed. And I don't want to be negative,
I wish I
but
could
unless
disagree with you.
the left can get on board
I agree. Yeah.
collectively, that's exactly where we're headed, like without a doubt.
Right now, what I'm seeing is, especially with Fox News, they are getting way more radical every single day. Every single host, I'm not going to even call them news reporter, but every single entertainment host that they have on is spouting off the most insane stuff right now. And they're getting more radical. They're pandering to this base right now. But is it us that's juicing them up, or is it the Republican side? Is this the Republican right-wing media juicing them up?
It's a division of it all, I think.
Yeah.
Can you put a comment up for me?
Yes.
Roddy Girl said disappointed in Romney during the address.
Yeah.
So Roddy Girl.
Oh yeah.
And this goes right now. He came out and did a video. I think it was either right after or the next day, saying that he was very disappointed in Biden, talking about all the spending, how all this spending in our investing in our infrastructure wasn't realistic. And it was like the whole time I'm watching, I'm thinking to myself, dude, like, how is investing in the American people not good? How is investing in our infrastructure bad? But yet you guys are going to sit there and siphon money into all these other dumbass projects and
Like
ridiculous
military.
things. Yeah, exactly. How much money do we give the military? So
Too much.
maybe
So
while we're
much.
pulling out of Afghanistan, we can take some of that money and put it into the infrastructure plan, the jobs plan. I kind of like that.
Yeah.
But we need, moving forward, we need to focus on green energy, and we need to focus on the jobs that said green energy can produce for our country.
Mm-hmm.
We need to fix our infrastructure, period. And I don't know how people can't see that. Our roads are crumbling. We got power grids that aren't functioning correctly. We got people dying of hypothermia. Like, we have issues that we need to focus on, and deregulating is part of what has gotten us here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And the deregulation came from what side, guys?
The right.
Republicans. Well, and what I'm seeing right now is, the Green New Deal just got its little reboot like last week. And, people are talking about it, but they're putting the craziest spin on it. I was going to talk about this later, but it's relevant to what you were saying about plant-based beer. We're trying to get rid of meat. That was a huge, stupid
Beer is already plant-based.
I know. And
that was so awesome. That was
just
so awesome.
It's amazing. They're unicorns here. They're just so special. I mean, and I'm at this point, like you said, we need to be focusing on the jobs and letting people know that this is the most important part. But they're focusing on them taking our meat, and they rewrite every single
Dr.
narrative
Seuss.
for all the good things. Yes, Dr. Seuss. all
Mr.
that
Potato Head's dick.
I know. It's pivoting. They're pivoting to new topics so that the American people that follow them do not focus on the real issues at hand. And they don't want them to ever think that the left has any good means for us. Yeah. I mean, every person I speak to in the right's like, the left just wants to control us. I'm like, have you actually sat down and like looked at policy or tried to understand what they even want? Because it's not about control. It's about helping the people of this nation that need a little more help and putting us all on a more level playing field. Like, I don't understand why that's not a positive in these eyes.
I agree with you. And more importantly, let's look at, if you want to, the same people who don't want us to touch their freedom of speech, their Second Amendment rights, are the same ones that are passing this legislation controlling women's reproductive rights.
Yes.
So some of y'all need to make up your minds. Do you want to
or transgender rights,
or healthcare for LGBTQ community?
Yeah.
Like, y'all need to make up your minds. Do you want to keep your hands off everybody's rights, or do you want to pick and choose what rights we keep our hands off of? And that's what the left is getting tired of. We're getting tired of you all sitting there and picking and choosing which rights apply and which ones you want to control. So that's what we're upset about. It's not that we want to control you. We want you to stop controlling everyone else.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I completely agree.
Yeah, mask over the mouth is control, but telling a woman what to do with her reproductive health is not control. It doesn't make sense. It just doesn't.
0 cents.
And I think it's funny, like, don't tell me how to raise my kids, in certain aspects. Like, I mean, I know that this goes back to the trans, like, they were really up in arms about the school not telling parents when kids came forward and said, I'd like to be referenced as a different pronoun or whatever. So that's taking away your parental rights, but you're okay with dictating that a parent who has a transgender child who's been through the proper protocol with therapy can't seek genetic suppression, puberty blockers in the state of Alabama, because if a prescriber gives it to them, they will be charged a felony if they're under the age of 19, not even 18, 19. So like, it's just, to me, it's like, you want to dictate, you don't want people to dictate how you parent, but you want to dictate how other people support and parent their own children. And you're right, 100% Ryan. It's like, they don't want to be controlled, but they have no problem controlling everyone as long as it's what they agree with. It's about what they agree with. And normally it comes right back to the Bible, which is,
I thought that's what you were going to actually bring up was, religion in schools and stuff. No control. Don't tell my kids what to do. But, your kids need to pray to my God, and, your kids need to learn about this. But
your kids need to say the Pledge of Allegiance. And
that's, I don't know.
But those are all such important points that I hope we all need to start driving home more often. It's not about us controlling. It's really about removing the control that they have chosen to place on other people. And we're finally standing up and going, no, this isn't right. And we're not going to let it continue.
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting. Someone posted something to me and saying, I thought Democrats were supposed to be the tolerant party. And I said, we are the tolerant party.
You met me?
We want people to just be who they are. Yep. We're not trying to control anybody. I was like, I
always say I'm not tolerant of intolerance.
There you go. We're not tolerant of their bullshit.
That's exactly what I said. I said, we don't have to tolerate any of your shit, because what you're trying to do is pretty much suppress everybody. We're trying to just let everyone live their lives in love and,
and have equal rights.
Yes. Yeah. But you know what came back? The comments on that were, you're a racist.
To you?
Yes. And that's
their go-to.
That's their go-to for anything. And it's like, you're not tolerant. I just don't understand their narratives anymore. They just choose what they want and run with it. And it's talking bananas now. It's just talking points. Yes.
Well, they are, but it's also promoting, white nationalism.
Yes.
In the country. And that's what the scary part is because the people that come out and call you and me and anybody else racist for saying the things that we say, it's because they're upset that we're attacking their way of life. But and it's that projection. You know that you're not. I know that I'm not, but at the end of the day, we all have those biases in our head. But it's what you do with them. Do you tell them to shut up and put them in their place, or do you project and act on them? And these people are not accepting of others. They want their way of life. They want their cake and eat it too. And they get really pissed off when people like us step in and say, well, we're not going to let that happen. At least not anymore.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Well, I want to move to a new topic. This week, something, just happened, and this is kind of COVID related. It is definitely COVID related, but the new mask mandates are out now.
For outdoors.
So if you're outside and you're vaccinated, you don't have to wear a mask anymore.
Yep.
And earlier this week, and I was talking about Tucker Carlson. He came out with some pretty scary and I think dangerous rhetoric.
I made the video of that.
Me too.
Yes.
And
What did Tucker say?
So he said was, if you see somebody wearing a mask outside, you need to go up to them and politely tell them to take off the mask because their mask is making you uncomfortable.
And firmly, politely and firmly.
And then he went on to say, if you see a child wearing a mask outside, you should call Child Protective Services because that is considered child abuse.
If I see Tucker Carlson outside, I'll call. Are
you kidding me? But
he literally equated it to beating a child in Walmart.
In Walmart, yeah.
I do not even give that guy my brain waves because he's just. What is he?
This is what people are listening to. And
hey, don't listen to Tucker Carlson. He's trying to get you all to fuck around and find out. Okay, so don't listen to Tucker.
Well, that was pretty much my video.
I think it's good to give people this incentive to get vaccinated. I mean, there has to be,
but the ones aren't wearing them aren't vaccinated either.
Yeah, that's the thing. What are you gonna do? Walk up and say, "Prove it. Show me your card."
I need a hat.
I know.
Yeah.
No, everyone needs a Vaxhole t-shirt. We'll talk about that in a minute. No, but that's the thing. I mean, but that's dangerous stuff to say to people and it gets in people's minds that, we're outside now. We don't have to wear masks. Why are you doing this? This is just going to be another form of confrontation in our country.
Well, that's what I was about to say. Can we talk about the fact that somebody's on a national television show promoting confrontation in an already, volatile nation right now? That's just, and then they're going to look at us and be like, see what the Black Lives Matter and the left did? See what they did? Because you fucking promoted it, because you made them come do the shit, and then you get mad because we respond.
Well, I think it's putting us in a really weird situation because we are all accustomed to doing the right thing, wearing masks and doing this, and now here's the idea: we don't have to wear them outside in certain circumstances. Yes, when you're still in a crowded arena or a concert, absolutely wearing masks are best practice. But I think there's a lot of people that are feeling a little bit taken back because they don't want to be associated with anti-maskers, all of that stuff.
I'll still wear mine.
I think I'm going to as well.
I never thought of it like that.
For a lot of it.
Well, I know, I don't, and I saw a funny TikTok where a guy was like, I don't want people to think I'm an and he's vaccinated, but he's like, I put it back on.
I don't want anybody to think I'm a Republican.
But I don't want to think I'm a Republican. Exactly.
I'm putting a TikTok out like that today because that is a huge thing. And it's also promoting the clothing brand that I'm doing. I'm just going to say it right now since we're talking about it. I started a clothing line called Vaxhole, and 100% of the proceeds are going to UNICEF to vaccinate 2 billion people in over 180 countries.
That's awesome.
And a Vaxhole is somebody that is vaccinated against the COVID-19 virus and likes to brag about it. So
I will be buying a shirt, Maggie.
I'm vaccinated. I'm a Vaxhole.
Yay! I will be showing a little commercial at the end of our this podcast or this program, and you can go and check it out at vaxhole.shop, and 100% of the proceeds go to UNICEF. And it's a great way to tell people, hey, I may not have to wear my mask outside, but I'm still a Vaxhole. So go get yourself a shirt and save a life, because we've got some really bad COVID cases and a lot of underserved countries around this world that need help.
Biden just stopped travel from India.
Yeah.
So
let's talk about that. I mean, the devastation that we're seeing over in India is profound right now.
Yeah.
It's scary, it's scary on the humanitarian side, just seeing that many people affected and everything. But it's also scary on the personal side, because for me, like, the United States, that could be the United States. Like, if we don't continue to get this under control and people start doing things we're not supposed to again, like, I'm just afraid that these variants are going to make their way here, and that could be us. But for now it's not, and I'm just like, my heart my heart really does ache for these people because, you know, like somebody said, a lot of this is due no fault of our own. These people are getting this virus. It's not like they walk around trying to get it.
Right.
You know, like, ooh, I want to walk around and die today. You know, like, no, like, I feel sorry for these people. It's horrible.
Yeah, it's important not to get complacent, which is kind of not, that sounds, you know, mean, but
no.
You know, my friend, he's from India and he was supposed to go home this year and he got his vaccine here and whatever. And yeah, I think they did very well to begin with. And it's just, they got complacent then and they're just too. And yeah, I'm definitely afraid that could happen here too, that people just start just doing stupid shit and not taking it seriously. I mean, just because some restrictions are taken down doesn't mean that we just have to throw caution to the wind. We still need to be smart. And
that's always the dangerous time, Meg. I mean, right now, you know, the CDC saying you don't have to wear masks outside. That could be the beginning of something. We don't know. You know, I think taking precautions is always a good thing. You know, erring on the side of science for sure. We're listening to what the experts have to say, but you know, when you see what's happening in other, like India right now, it's terrifying because these variants are out there. And you know, we have travel. The travel ban has also been kind of lifted for people that are vaccinated this week. So Europe's open. I mean, and you know, that's a hop, skip, and a jump away from so many other places. It's not out of the question that we may be in this for a lot longer.
And meanwhile, here in Arizona, they're making it so kids don't have to wear masks in class anymore.
Well, and I was going to mention that because there was actually a video on Telegram where I guess there was one district that still was maintaining the mask mandate in their school district. And I can't think of the school district. I'm going to have to look it up. But the parents harassed the school board to the point that the school board had to leave. And then they literally filmed a makeshift. They claimed that they were claiming in the video the school board quit. They did not. They adjourned and left because the parents there were absolutely just mobbing them. 1776 shirts on and hats. Like it was bad. And they videoed them saying that we're electing new school board members and they just picked people randomly and said, let's put a vote to them. And we're trying to, so I looked it up because of course, Telegram presents this video like the school board quit. And I looked up and the reality is they adjourned. These people made a makeshift school board meeting that had no power over the school board. The school board was meeting to discuss whether they were going to follow the state's protocol or continue to do what they had been doing with the mask. And the families were just irate, but it was just like, but that's a perfect example of like, you know, you give a little with freedom and these people run with it. And these are the same people that won't wear masks in any situation, that won't get vaccinated, that won't vaccinate their kids, you know, so these are the people that are putting other people's lives in danger. And then we have people on TikTok that are like, herd immunity is fake. And I'm like, no, it's not. How do you think?
The amount of people who say shit like, I have a video in my drafts about this. I might post it tomorrow. But there was this one lady in particular, and I only made this video to her because so many other people made this comment. It was like, well, if you have the vaccine, why do you care if other people have the vaccine? Aren't you prevented from getting it? I'm like, no, you're like, who told you that? Oh,
it lessens the symptoms and is 95% effective against getting it. It's a huge, you know, depending on what you got. I guess I've got Moderna, so it's like 95% or something.
It's just insane that they're.
But that's why this whole idea of endless freedom that we have somehow created here in the United States needs to stop.
I was going to ask about that. If you guys have any insight as to why things are like this in the US, because I know, my parents are in their 70s. They're getting vaccinated. Everybody back home stayed isolated. I don't understand what it is. You know why,
Tracy? We are spoiled here.
Oh, 100%.
We are entitled. We are spoiled. What, you know, I have been equating this whole pandemic to us being like children that stomped their feet and wanted a fucking cookie for dinner. We stomped our goddamn feet this whole time. And guess what? We got the fucking cookie for dinner. We got the vaccines first. We opened up when we shouldn't have. We didn't band together. We don't have a shared narrative.
It's like the slightest inconvenience is oppression or something. It's just
acted like petulant children. And I don't mean us us here. I'm talking about us as a nation.
Yeah.
Because it's like cooperation. It just went out the window. Trying to just do the right thing went out the window. The selfishness in this pandemic just oozed out of America.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's what we're entitled. Everyone thinks we're entitled to everything. And that's why the rest of the world can't get vaccines, because guess who has them? We do.
You do. Well, and I think it's funny. I'm like, how do you not recognize a global pandemic? Like they're like, and I saw a video of someone being like, haven't you heard of New World Order?
I
And I'm
saw
like,
that too. Yeah.
Let me get this. And I loved it was Good Trouble. And he's like, so wait a minute. We can't even get one nation on the same page. You think we've gotten every global leader together to go, let's plan a pandemic.
Absolutely.
And
Girl, we're not even in the
mass.
same book. We're not even in the same book. We're not the pages are over. We're in different books at this point.
You're in different genres, fiction and nonfiction.
Okay, I like Sarah Smiley's
Love it.
point, because that plays into the LARP idea, that the comment that just came up.
Yeah.
I feel like that is. I feel like that they think that they're, and here's the deal. We've already shown that the coronavirus affects minorities and people of color more predominantly than people that are obviously white. So they already feel like they have a hierarchy against this virus. Now, mind you, that doesn't stop them from getting long haulers. It hasn't affected death, and obviously more susceptible and higher age brackets of white population. But it has, disproportionately harmed people of color and different minority nationalities. And I almost think that they like that. I mean, I hate to say that out loud and let that be heard, but I really feel like that's why they're okay with it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
Make us even more of the majority. And I feel like it is. It's a game to them at this point.
Well,
I'm strong enough to survive it.
Oh yeah, that's their big thing is it doesn't affect me. I'm gonna live. I'll be fine if I get it. And it's the selfishness for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And maybe, Ireland is fucked up in lots of ways in itself, but there is that sense of community.
Yes.
In a small country like that, where we look out for our neighbor, whereas in America, it's more every man for themselves,
Yep.
You do what you have to do to get the whole country through something. You do what you do to help your neighbor. It's not about, well, fuck them. It doesn't affect me,
Yep.
Well,
Tracy, when you were on and we were talking, we had the kind of global, we had all these different women from, all over the world talking about social democracy. And the idea behind social democracy is that you have just a general kind of consensus that we do what's best for each other.
Yeah.
We do what's best and what's needed for the nation.
Take care of each other.
We take care of each other because that's what you do. That concept being lost on America makes me so sad.
Yeah, when I make a video and only today somebody told me it's not my problem you don't have health insurance, go out and get a job. I'm like, I have health insurance. I have amazing health insurance. It doesn't, even enter their head that I might care about other people having health insurance.
Yeah.
It's
and
just,
not only that, but that comment also nowadays doesn't work. Like, go find me a job that you're going to stay at that's going to provide you outstanding healthcare at a price that you can freaking afford. Good luck.
Yeah. You're not.
Nope. And then most jobs don't even freaking want to offer it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But it's such an interesting concept that your health comes from your job.
Well, that being tied
ridiculous.
together is the worst thing that ever happened. Well, not the worst thing, but it's a terrible thing that ever happened to any corporation, them tying that, because it's golden handcuffs for people don't want to leave their jobs.
I would be dead right now if I had the insurance most other people have.
Yeah,
legit 100%. I would be dead right now.
And that's a big problem with people in this country that don't have access to insurance at all.
Yep.
Because I know people, my former sister-in-law, she was on the cusp of, she didn't qualify for Medicaid. I always say this wrong, is Medicaid. But their company didn't offer health care. They had a job, but she literally just made a little too much.
Mm-hmm.
But, and it's one of these things, like people go, well, you don't get a job so you can have the government. That's because having a job sometimes doesn't help you.
Nope.
Yeah.
You end up losing money in this society. Like, healthcare should not be something we have to worry about, period.
Yeah.
Like, ever.
Absolutely.
Well, and I think there was something really interesting that happened that I don't think, attention was paid to it. But look at when this all happened and people who had those jobs had to go on unemployment when COVID first hit. And all the not all, but a lot of the conservatives got upset saying, look, people aren't going to go back to work because they're making more money sitting on their ass than they were at their job. And I'm like, see, that's an interesting way of looking at it. The way I looked at it is that that's not much money to begin with. And you're upset because people are making more now.
Yeah.
Maybe we need to focus on the fact that they weren't getting paid in the shit in their job prior.
Right.
You know, it's how we look at things with empathy or apathy.
Absolutely.
You know, it's going to kill us.
Kind of circling all the way back around to the beginning conversation about Joe Biden's speech. You know, when he talked about the trillionaires that were made during this coronavirus and blatantly just speaking out and being like,
call them out,
trickle down, never works. Will never work. They all put their money in offshore accounts. They're not putting it back in their workers. They're not putting into healthcare. They're not doing that. Nope. And why you would support that is beyond me. You know,
I think everybody thinks that they're going to one day become a billionaire, you know, so they think, so when this happens for me, I'll be protected. But that's not how it works, I'm afraid. You know, you can chase that dream all you want, and I encourage everybody to chase their dreams, but you've also got to be realistic. We still have to look out for each other, no matter what level we are at.
You know, and Tracy, what I want to point out is look at our group. Look at our group as a steady subject. We've got all of us that get on each other's podcasts, who have started podcasts together. This is what happens when people lift each other up instead of compete against each other, or, you know, anything like that. We have this we've created this awesome community of creators who all think similarly. We all want to lift each other up. You know, we all want to help each other, you know, grow our platforms for similar reasons. And it's awesome. And I look at this and I'm like, why can't we just apply this in a much larger scale?
Yeah.
You know, but unfortunately, that's not our current social construct.
Nope.
Mm-hmm. Well,
and the mentality is not there.
Everyone is always fighting against each other, jealous of one another. There's competition in just who's, you know, it's keeping up with the Joneses in America. And people love to feel more entitled and better than other people. That's like part of America at this point, and it's disgusting.
Mm-hmm.
It absolutely social shift. I don't know how we can get to that point, and I think about that constantly. And when I feel that out of control, the only thing I can do is at least do something good. Because at least I can do something to control my life, what I can put out, what I can give, because I can't expect everyone else to do that. And I know you guys are the same, and that's why we do what we do. And we say the things we do, and, you know, try to lift each other up and lift up the world around us. Ryan, you're running, you know, for office. You know, you've taken that leap to doing instead of just, you know, talking. You know, it's great.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell I was thinking.
You do.
It's, you know, and that's how I think we change it, you know, is that we take our seats at the table. We represent ourselves. We represent our age group. We represent our kids, you know, but also it's important that we don't forget, you know, the generations, you know, that came before us that we're going to have to, you know, watch over and take care of. Just like Tracy was saying, we need to still take care of each other, right? Can't forget about them. But we need to stop. We need to get away from the thinking of the old generations, and we need to start paying more attention to these current generations and focus on how we're going to mold those two together and move forward. Because we have to get younger people involved. We have, and not just involved running, but we have to get them engaged to understand. I think somebody said it earlier in the show, to understand how important politics is in our daily life. I was in my 30s before I realized how important, how much I should focus on politics. And if somebody can start 10 years sooner than I did, you know, and get involved and really get it and understand how it applies to their life, I'm telling you, you will be interested to see how you can change your life through voting. We can.
I love it. Absolutely. And I think that's actually a great place for us to end off on. That was well said, Ryan.
Oh, well, thank you.
It's been a great show, you guys. And I'm sorry that Loudlib had to leave. His phone died. He texted me. But we loved having him on. And I'll just say, everyone go. If you're in New Jersey, I'm going to give his outro for him. Matt Beckoff, He's running for council in New Jersey. Go vote for him if you're there. And we're happy to have him on the show. Why don't we take it away, Jess Crazy Mother Runner? Why don't you give a little outro about your page for anyone that's just joining?
Well, again, I'm on TikTok. I'll post eventually. May 5th. Look for me on May 5th.
Yay!
But I also do a podcast. We're trying to keep it every Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern time. It's called The Rabbit Hole Heroines. We also upload our video that we do on Wednesdays to podcasts everywhere on Saturdays at 10 a.m. We talk about all things politics and cult and conspiracy and whatever. So yeah, you can catch that. I'm on IG. I don't post very often on IG. So yeah, you can keep up with me on TikTok. So thank you for having me, Maggie.
Absolutely. And thank you so much. This is your first time here, so I'm so happy you're here.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Not the real Tracy Delaney. Give us your outro.
I am not the real Tracy Delaney. And you can find me on TikTok at Not The Real Tracy Delaney. And you can also find me on Instagram, where I post the shit that TikTok takes down, at Not The Real Tracy Delaney as well.
I know
Love it.
Instagram is always the backup. You're like, just go check out my Instagram. You'll actually see some good
Yep.
stuff. All right.
Yep.
And Ryan Shed.
Yes, thank you. It's been much better show since Loudlib left, so good for that.
Shots.
Hey,
He's gonna see that.
I know, that's why I said it. But no, seriously, it's my first time being on a show with you, Tracy. So it's been awesome. Thank you. It was nice meeting you.
To meet you.
You guys can all follow me. Please go over to my YouTube. I'm trying to get that. You can follow me at Ryan Shed. I have my podcast with Nikki New on Mondays at 6 o'clock Eastern, 3 o'clock Pacific. And then I have Ryan Rant's podcast live stream on Tuesdays. So go over there. That's where you can find me. But I'm on Twitter, Instagram, all that. I'm causing trouble everywhere. So just come find me.
As you can see, Ryan Shed is not busy at all.
No.
So, he's just got so much
And
time
running
on
for
his hands. And running for office. I don't know. Well, thank you guys for coming. And real quick, I'm just going to plug the Vaxhole brand again, because these shirts are going to UNICEF. There's masks, there's flip-flops. The shirts are 100% recyclable material, the unisex ones. Really trying to work on getting everything sustainable, but it's all going to UNICEF for a good cause. I'm really trying to raise money because I would love to see this pandemic end, and I'm trying to do my part. So with that said, I've got a little commercial for you guys. And thank you for joining for this episode of Friday Night Highlights. It was phenomenal, and I love all these people here. And until next week, I'll see you then. Bye.
Bye.
All night long, all night.